All right, we should be live. So anybody who comes up here, just know that this is a live streamed on YouTube, recorded event here. I will turn my camera on in a second just to show my face, but let's see. I'm tired, guys. It's been a busy week. All right. Cool. Well, let's kind of go ahead and get started. I know we're a couple minutes in already, but it was good to kind of field, open things up and let folks join in before we really got started. So, just some opening remarks. We've had a pretty incredible last week. Last Friday we went live with Dorkfi. There was the House of Voy spin contest, I guess, if you will. What was the name of that, Haruf? Do you remember?
I don't know, but it was a fast track for me to lose all my money.
Ultimately, I think they were doing somewhere around 300,000 plus transactions a day throughout the entire weekend. And I think, between you and Scotty, you probably lost all your money to the house. So thank you guys for the extra APY on the house. I appreciate it. I had some fun and participated as well. There were some winners, there were some losers. I think the losers still won an achievement anyways, which was pretty cool. Some announcements about, different achievements that have been put out by Dorkfi as well as House of Voy. Lots of interesting things going on in the ecosystem. Obviously some key changes that need to happen as well across the board. We haven't had any proposals within the last couple of weeks, which has also kind of given us, a little bit of breathing room to go and deploy some of these projects and support the projects themselves. A little bit of a shakeup around the Twitter account itself as well. So overall, I am super excited, for the future of Voy and what everybody else has been working on as well. I think it's it's pretty great, and I'm seeing your feelings cold. I don't know what that means. Walter, what's up, Walter? I don't know if we've engaged before, but good to see you here. Glad to see some new faces, or maybe it's just a name change and it's a community member that's been around for a while. But yeah, it couldn't be more exciting for folks in the Voy community. For us Voyagers here, I think there's a lot of stuff that we went over last meeting that I think there's been some action that's been taken based on that last meeting as well. So very excited about the future here, and we can kind of kick things off, and we'll do a quick little Dorkfi update. We'll do Aramid update. If Chris shows up, he can talk about House of Voy. Do a quick announcement about the Twitter account, and then we've got a list of things from open discussion that I think is super important for us to continue to move forward. That is a little bit of bleed over from the council meeting yesterday as well. We're looking to shake things up a bit. But yeah, so we'll jump into the communications updates and announcements section of the agenda. From a Dorkfi perspective, we went live with both Voy and Algorand on Dorkfi. You have the ability to toggle between both networks, and if you're using a Kinesis wallet or a Loot wallet, you can have assets from both Algorand and Voy in there. and be able to make deposits and do activities on each wallet, all of your assets will without actually having to swap the wallet. So I think that's super cool and very progressive. The other things that I'll touch on too is we're live with, I think it's 50 markets at this point on both in total on both networks, which is impressive. We've got over $580,000 worth of TVL. So just want to thank anybody and everybody who's supported us and deposited into pre-fi incentives. We're looking at ways to increase and incentivize deposits across the board as well. So maybe some more announcements in the coming days or weeks or so. We've got a target go live date for in mind, at least I should say, for the lending side of the application, finishing up a couple of last touches on the final audit from the lending side of the platform, but deposits are live, and I think you guys are going to like what we've got cooking on the lending side of things, especially with the liquidation markets and some ideas that we have around some of the pre-fi market stuff. We've talked about it in Spaces. I won't spend too much more time giving a DorkFi update. Haruf, if you want to add anything or just jump right into some Aramid updates, feel free.
I don't need to add too much. I think it's worth checking out. If you guys haven't seen it, now we just go check out the page and see what you think about it. I think we're pretty pleased with where we're at right now. As far as Aramid goes, I think that we've, over the past couple of days, we've seen a correction to some of the issues that were happening. So that's been awesome. I know Ludo's here, so if he'd like to talk about Aramid more, he's welcome to do so. But I think at the council meeting yesterday, they talked about ensuring that they were getting the right address to deposit Aramid's grant, to ensure that it was going into the smart contract address and not like the Aramid wallet that's like just kind of a vanity address. So I'm not sure if that's happened yet or not, but
I think if I'm not mistaken, Shelly had set up some type of wallet or address specifically for that that proposal itself, or the funds itself, and so I think there was maybe some back and forth on that front, but at any rate, Ludo, you're welcome to come up and give an update on Aramid if you've got anything else that you want to add to it. Let's get him up here.
Hello guys.
Hey, how you doing, man?
So Aramid, we are still suffering from this fraudulent marking of a wallet as a phishing website. So technically, in the Aramid main website is basically integrated a wallet domain as the algod node for fetching transaction from the Aramid chain. That's why when there is this claiming process, it doesn't work on the main Aramid app website, and we cannot deploy the beta there yet because there are still not finished some things regarding these new tokens. So, but technically the claiming to Ethereum network should work on the beta website. So, And so that's the current state where
that's
we are.
so a wallet is that, is there a difference between that and biotech, or is it all just kind of biotech at this point?
Now, the A-wallet domain got banned because someone flagged it as the
Got it.
phishing domain. Even that on biotech, wallet.biotech.io is the same website,
Got it.
basically, but biotech didn't get flagged. So someone went directly after the A-wallet domain, and the A-wallet domain is quite integrated into the Aramid chain, and the public Algo D and the indexer nodes were basically available on this domain. So that's why it's hurting basically the Aramid bridge. But and we have now we have these public domains also available on the biotech domain. So these new domains were updated to the beta Aramid website. So basically, the claiming process, even if the person starts on the Aramid app Aramid.finance, then he bridges to the Ethereum networks. People still can claim this transaction because it gets frozen because it cannot find this claim transaction. When people go to the basically beta Aramid website, then they can claim these transferred assets. So yeah. Or basically, if they want to bridge to Ethereum, I would suggest at the moment to use the beta website. But,
Use the beta.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Because I think myself in particular, I'm looking to bridge more assets from ETH and other networks to Voi, and just want to make sure to be able to deposit into DorkFi. And then one of the things that I was planning on working on too was posting some documentation around how to do bridge from ETH to be able to deposit into DorkFi before we go live with an EVM base capabilities. So in that case, you're recommending maybe if I'm going through and doing the documentation for that, like link to the beta site until there's a fix.
Oh, well, not everything works on the beta. That's why we cannot deploy it to the main website. That's why I recommend to be very cautious.
Okay.
Like if you want to bridge something, like try really like small amount first,
Yeah.
and then try to bridge
Yeah.
the bigger amount, for example.
Been using
But it's really the issue for us, and we are doing everything that we can. I even filed the criminal complaint for because the harm is basically being done to us. So yeah, I want to have this resolved ASAP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've been using lately the wormhole bridge to Algorand, and it's still on their legacy tools, and it'd be nice to have another option. But yeah, obviously there's it takes some time for it. Yeah, there is. I think there is documentation for Aramid, if I'm not mistaken. You guys have a whole bunch of stuff out there already. Is that right, Ludo?
All docs is at docs.arami.finance,
Mm-hmm.
to my knowledge.
Yeah, that makes
Almost all
sense.
day.
Haruf, you got something? No? Okay, cool. Sweet. Yeah, so thanks for the update there, Ludo. We'll, make sure that folks know to be cautious when using the Aramid beta, and to just send small amount test amounts first, and kind of proceed that way until there's some sort of fix, and then we can move forward that way. So let's see. Moving on, House of Voy update. We don't have Chris here. I don't know, Haruf, if you want to say anything about the contest that happened over the weekend. I can talk a little bit about it, but obviously not a part of that project. Just a user.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know everything that went on because I only participated in the first part of it. But basically there was a contest that had a bunch of different parameters. Some of it was total spins. Some of it are the total RTP, total amount of void that was spun in, not the number of spins, but the total amount of actual bets wagered. Um, there was a couple of other categories too. I could probably find them pretty quick. But anyways, they here it is. Let's see here. There was a win streak competition to see who could get the most like the highest amount of wins with the 20 payline bets. Losing streak. Some poor fuck lost 28 in a row, which is not me, thankfully.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it might have been Scotty.
Well, there you go. And then all of those things factored in to an overall champion, and different categories had first, second, third. Overall, first, second, third got some prizes and also trophies, like little achievement trophies for the future. So yeah, it was. I mean, especially for like the 20 people or whatever, it was a lot of volume, a lot of transactions, breaking cabeces. we learned. So there's a lot of cool stuff that was going on with them.
Yeah, it's a fun time to be in the ecosystem. There's so much going on right now, and a lot of progress has been made. It's pretty cool, just from the day one. I think the chain was launched a year ago on September 12th, and a year later we've got two projects launching, creating significant transaction volume, and drawing TVL, and to see some of that progress has been awesome. To be a part of it's been awesome. So I'm excited about the future, and I know it came to our attention I think Haruf kind of brought it up. It wasn't on my radar until Haruf had mentioned that there was a little bit of inactivity going on from the Twitter account over the past several weeks, and that came up during the council meeting yesterday. So there have been some temporary, I would say temporary changes, and I know that Haruf, you've got some ideas on how to kind of go forth with this Twitter account, and kind of just, I think personally from a sitting council member, I think that there's a great opportunity for someone or a group or team of folks to come in and run all socials a little bit more proactively, rather than kind of waiting for big announcements and learning through other community members, but being more proactive with their approach. And I know that there's some folks that are interested in taking on that type of role here. But Haruf, if you want to just kind of talk a little bit about the Twitter account specifically and some of the ideas that you've got and kind of what's going on that front.
Yeah, I mean, people have brought up that they thought maybe the account should be kind of a group of people, run by committee, or, by a group, by a group of people. I think we still have this opportunity to identify somebody who would be really a good person to run the account and get paid for it. It's just not something that was on the forefront for folks recently, but it should be, because we've had a lot of big successes recently with House of Void, DorkFi, some NFT sales, and just kind of like other milestones. And we haven't been putting them out on an official account, and so it's hard to gain traction as an entire chain without that. Even though individuals have been making some great strides in their own projects. So yeah, it was nice to see last night the account posted a bunch of different things. I've actually been given temporary access to post on occasion, and I plan on posting things that I find like important that I'm not seeing the account post. But we'll just kind of take it one step at a time, probably until we identify the person who could actually run it.
Yeah, and I know I've had some folks in DMs that are definitely interested in running it, and I think one of them is in the audience here too. If they want to come up and kind of chat a little bit, more than welcome to. And I'm talking to you, Coop. Love you, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, if you want to come up, feel free to raise your hand. If not, we can kind of move. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and bring him up here. The man, the myth, the legend, Devin.
What's up, guys?
What's happening, man?
Devin. Hey, man. Sorry, I'm don't really have the thing right now. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know.
Are you in one of those
like,
Are you in one of those phone box booth things or what?
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually in my kitchen.
Okay.
But so with like a very bright light, actually, it's not very flattering. I don't look as handsome as I lead on. So yeah, dude, I'm really just like, look, if it works out and it seems like it feels right, I'd be happy to do it. But more importantly, I showed up today because I actually am kind of bullish on what you guys are doing. I think money market and a casino is a fucking two fantastic things to be delivering as like the kind of like underpinnings of you guys building out this ecosystem. So I'm willing and I'm wanting to get a little more active and to hang out a little bit more. And yeah, I certainly think that the fact that you don't have an account celebrating a year on mainnet and celebrating like the huge accomplishments over the weekend and having like a narrative that they're trying to achieve, and obviously a goal of growing and getting that to show up in more people's feed. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to be able to throw somebody like some agency $5,000 or whatever a month if they don't know anything about, it's like I've seen companies do this in Web3 all the time. They think that they're going to hire some polished thing and it just never works. It just doesn't work. So if you guys want to do the count, like the by committee thing, and you're finding a way to like sort of figure that out and it works, and yeah, well, whatever, then you don't need me and all good. But yeah, I think that you guys have an opportunity. The narrative is starting to show up. And so like, you're no longer like, okay, come to Voy and buy an NFT, like, which is cool, but it's just not the most popular thing right now. So it's a hard sell. So it's like, now you guys have a good brand. You have the dorks. You have Chris, like clearly very passionate about House of Void. That's a good name. Like, it's gambling. People want to gamble. I'm sure you'll incentivize it. So then there's going to be, you're going to want to like incentivize the gambling and whatever, you know. And so you're incentivizing lending right now. Pretty soon you're going to allow for borrowing, and then you're going to have looping, and then you're going to be able to, hopefully other things will pop up, and then the dexes will get more active, and then people want to fucking come.
Yep.
And because they think they can be. Yeah.
No, you're spot on. I think that introducing better tools for speculation and leverage they go hand in hand, and you kind of need them to jumpstart an ecosystem. And if you look back at like the progression of basically any other chain, you go back to ETH or you go to Solana or even Algorand, you see like a boon in activity when you have additional tools, especially on the leverage side, and being able to loop and lend and all that stuff. And then on top of it, when you have real
when folks
good,
like it, the entire ecosystem took off.
Absolutely. And I think that's kind of, it brings me back to the early days of Algorand, like the September 21 time frame, and I think we're kind of what we're doing right now kind of reminds me of that time. And what's different now than then is that it is all like core community members, and we're not corporate suit and tie type people really, for the most part. We're here to put our effort and our skills towards building really cool and novel solutions in this space, and it's different than the kind of ethos of Algorand or a lot of other chains out there even. And so there's definitely a space for that narrative to evolve, and I think that personally there's just a lack of input and work that's been done on what that narrative could be, and like how we want to position ourselves as a chain, and how do we want to build that out. So to me, it's a huge opportunity, and I think there probably needs to be more than just a Twitter account run by committee. This is just my personal opinion, and there needs to be a creative vision for the kind of the growth of that narrative and how it is implemented. Not just hey, let's post these things. I think there needs to be some cohesion there, and
well, there's a story that needs to be written, but that is probably better than the story that's been written, and so instead of like it seems like certainly to the Algorand community, I know you guys have a much bigger vision you have a bigger vision than just Algorand. You think that the AVM technology is fantastic, and you want to start connecting to Base and other ecosystems and kind of grow. I understand that, but you don't want the Algorand community to be telling the story of Voy. You know what I mean? Like, you want the Voy community to be telling the story of Voy.
Yep.
And so if the story is that has a negative tint to it, you need to figure out a way to tell a more positive story, in a sense, this isn't in competition to. I know you guys try to say this, and I understand that it's easier said than done because people are salty. I get it. But their story of how we can all make it together type of thing.
Yeah.
Could be as part of it, of course. Obviously you want this technology to grow, and because people believe in it, and that there's an opportunity. Why doesn't more people that are on Algorand and don't try out Voy? It doesn't make sense why they're not trying to participate in the upside of being early on Voy. It does not make sense, because Voy is obviously very cheap. You guys are building things. So somehow that needs to break through. Like, well, why wouldn't you just be exposed to being over here and having some fun with the community that you know? Like,
Right.
and let's grow this thing, and then it might go up, and then just fucking sell and take your profit and buy algo. Who cares? But like,
Exactly.
maybe you'll want to stay and you'll start to believe in it, type of thing. So like, you know, there's a whole bunch of different things that you guys can, you know, do, but to try to get through.
And that's the key and the opportunity, I think, too, is just like there is a story to be told. Nobody from the community has really kind of stepped up yet to go in and start telling that story and start building it out. And you know, I think there's plenty of room for that, in my opinion. And you know, I support you know, having a long-term vision in that way too. And kind of breaking away from, you know, some of the, you know, the redheaded stepchild of Algorand's view that, you know, we kind of get, or we're the cousin, the distant cousin view in some ways. So, you know, I think, yeah, plenty of opportunity there.
I would also mention that like the lift for the running the socials is actually likely a lot smaller right now than it was before, because I think we can augment it with AI, with an AI bot. The Victor character is great. Bagman's already got the bot going. It could be tailored to do a lot of the like reposting that the account needs. But yes, there's in the background there needs to be kind of like, we need to identify what the central, you know, like vibe of the chain is, and be posting with that kind of personality. And we need to be taking all of the data that we've got during the week and posting it into like a coherent message that is compelling. I think that's the biggest thing, that you know, you don't get that from bots. You're not gonna get like the macro trends of a chain from a bot, because it's always going to be individual stories unless you've got somebody else writing the story for the bot to retweet.
It's also about like knowing and understanding the audience too, and those AI, they can think that they know and understand, but they are only going to hit, you know, a certain point. But if you really have been around this ecosystem for a long time, you kind of know and understand and have been through the trenches with the audience itself.
Well, yeah, and certainly, like, you know, you start where you're at, right? Like, I even commented this on BitBoy. Like, I watched a BitBoy video yesterday, and he just looks like sad and like, you know, but he seems sober, and like his take was kind of vanilla, and it was just like, what the fuck? But I was actually happy for the dude, because he was like starting, like, he was just humble and just trying to do it again. And I was like, that's where he needs to be, and that's a good place to be. So it's like, I'm not saying that it's a comparison of just being where you are right now, and where you are is that there's some low-hanging fruit to go grab, bring some more people into the fold. You know who you're talking to. It's like, you don't need to be, you know, appealing to the pump fun audience right now. I mean, maybe you get there, but right now, there's a lot of people that should be inclined to be participating on Void that aren't, and they could be, and it's not a big jump for them to figure it out and to do it. And I think there's a significant amount of people to grow the pie, you know, a little bit, and that right now, and it's right there. So, you know,
I think that DorkFi is an example of an opportunity for people on Algorand to just dip the tip of their dick into the waters, because like they can sign up and only do Algorand things, and it's like, oh, oops, I pushed this one button and now I'm on a different chain. You know, like it's more available than it has been in the past.
Yeah, and it also, you know, might be a good idea to incentivize Voy a little bit, like as you go along, like throw some more incentives on the voice side, because once you get people on the Algorand side, people are going to be like, all right, I mean, whatever, you know, like fucking, I might as well get some voids. Like, how much is it?
Totally.
Like I'll throw some on, I'll get a Kibiscus wallet, I'll figure that out, and I'll go throw some on over there too, so I have some liquidity on the other side.
Yeah.
Certainly, Ludo. I mean, I don't know the status of the bridge, and I heard something about some sort of criminal thing, which that sounds bleak. But you know, you want a working bridge so people can hop back and forth, and I think it works, but I don't know. I'm confused on that for sure.
Yes, it works.
Okay, good. Yeah, perfect.
And the criminal thing was just that someone reported the a-wallet domain as the phishing website, and the registrar basically suspended the domain so it doesn't resolve the DNS. And it's like more than, it's almost like 2 weeks now. So I filed like a criminal complaint because it's doing the hard to us.
Awesome. So it's a smaller thing. Good, but it's important, obviously. And so then when you guys are talking about beta and getting stuff from the EVM side, that's on the other, like there's two bridges, there's the beta bridge and then there's the other bridge, and it's the beta bridge that actually links to Ethereum. Is that what I understand?
No, when we deployed the Aramid bridge, from the source code is deployed automatically to the beta website, and when everything is working, then we deploy to the main website. So we have basically two domains where you can access the Aramid bridge, and at the beta is at the moment all the new domains, all the new tokens, but there is still something that doesn't work there. So yeah.
I did a test of Coop like a month ago, and it worked on the beta bridge. But yeah, so you just need more time to fix it. It sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. All right. Anyways, I don't need to.
Sweet.
And happy to see you here. Like let's all go together.
Look at that. Yeah, we're all back together again.
Yeah, exactly. Great discussion, great conversation. I think, you know, it's worth having these conversations, and I think we're headed in the right direction on the Twitter social media front. You know, would love to see someone, you know, do some narrative building and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, then what I'll do is I can come up with like some sort of proposal, and then, you know, if you guys aren't in a hurry, it doesn't need to rush. Whatever, however it goes. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I won't withdraw. I won't withdraw my $416 worth of. No, I got more than that because I put a bunch of Coop in there. But on the voice side, I won't withdraw my DorkFi deposit.
Don't worry about that.
I suggest, by the way, if you submit a proposal, you might submit a proposal for you running the thing like yourself, like, you know, without the assistance of AI, and then another proposal that might include, you know, like the idea that we should have, you know, AI kind of for bulk posting. And I would imagine that would be like a little bit of a lower like cost for your time, because the AI would be doing so much of the heavy lifting. But it also, if you look at it, decide that that's like valuable, it would hammer home to the council and others in the community that, you know, this is a good possible path that we could take. So just kind of consider what you think would be the best outcome.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to AI, I don't really know, you know, I hate when things feel like AI, like as a consumer of this stuff. Now, I understand the idea of like, their retweets and stuff, but that's you know, that's the easy part of running the Twitter account is retweeting things. But yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. We'll see. We'll hash it out. It's all good.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, another kind of thing that we should talk about open discussion is council applications. So we've come to the end of the year of our first year of the Void Network Council. And so that opens up opportunity to, make some change and also, provide an opportunity for community members to come in and put their foot forward and apply to sit on the governing council. So I'm going to post, and I don't want to do it because I'm live streaming right now, and I don't have it handy right here, and my whole screen is being recorded. So on a different device, I'm posting in the Voiager committee meeting, the application for the governing council. So if you're interested in applying to sit on the governing council, check out that link, go ahead and apply. We're probably going to try to leave it open for, maybe 2 weeks, just to grab enough, applicants and that type of thing where folks can go and campaign. Maybe it's just a week if we get enough, solid quality applicants. And, I think it presents a really unique opportunity to kind of shake things up. And I know that we've talked a little bit about council elections and how that might go. I think that it's going to be done on chain. It could be done in Discord. There could be some different ways to do it. At this stage, we want to get some applications. All sitting council members would need to reapply if they so choose to. And then I know there's been some ideas around governance changes, and somebody sitting up here right now who's definitely looking to submit an application to sit on the council. But go ahead, Haruf, if you got something you want to chat about.
No, I just think it's an opportunity for people who are serious about the future of the chain to have a major impact over the next year. I think that we could really shake up the way that the council has been run in the past, and to streamline some things to make it run much more effectively in the future. So if you're somebody in the audience who feels like you could be that person and could be very objective about the stuff that you're being presented with, have robust discussions in council meetings, and ultimately, be the voice of the people that we're all trying to represent, then put your name in the hat. Let's start to find out who's available and who wants to do it.
That's fantastic.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So, or two questions. First is like, how much is it consuming? Like, how much does you need to spend the time per week, for example?
So.
And
go ahead.
Yeah. And second question is, does it bring any constraints? Like, for example, can the council member apply for grants or something like this?
Yep. So there's two, a couple things on that. I would say basically within the last year, there was variable amounts of time that needed to be spent depending on how many proposals had kind of come through. I felt like the process for doing evaluations was pretty cumbersome, and for me, I spent a lot of time listening to community feedback and trying to track down people who were the proposers, and going through levels of conversations, and sometimes negotiations with folks, and it was very time consuming at times, like more than 25 hours a week, and I don't think that that's the way that it should be done in this form. I think that we could definitely streamline the process and reduce the amount of time that had been spent on certain aspects of things. I think the second question that you had too was, there was I believe it was a policy procedure that sitting council members, this happened in, I want to say, the beginning of January or late December. Sitting council members still have the ability to submit grant proposals on behalf of retroactive things that they have done previously. They were required to abstain from their vote, and still required to go through the same due diligence process and kind of general scrutiny that every other proposal that had been put through went through. So there is that opportunity and ability. I think that one of the constraints for some folks and concerns with some folks that I've talked to previously about, hey, would you be interested in filling a role or sitting on the council, was, the time frame that we run meetings, how the meetings were kind of conducted, how much influence does block authority have on these meetings. Those were probably the key concerns that I've heard, and right now I think anything's on the table. We've come to a conclusion with that first year of governance process and structure, and there's nothing that is preventing a new council, a fully elected council, to go in and make changes around, hey, what time are we going to meet on a weekly basis, and how much control over the meetings does the sitting council want to take? Do they want to run the agenda themselves? Do they want to have deeper discussions about certain aspects of how things are run, or do they want to maintain the status quo? And I personally think that there needs to be some disruption in upsetting the status quo. I think that the way that it is structured right now, it's a time suck in some aspects of things, and I think some of that can be cleaned up. Did that answer your question, Ludo?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and Haruf, since you've got the keys to the castle with the X account, at some point today, just post out that application whenever you get a chance, and then
Sure.
we'll be reviewing applicants, and there's not really a formal interview process or anything, but it's more of like community discussion, and you're gonna have to probably campaign and get buy-in from folks that would be voting on you. I think there's whatever ends up coming in from these applications, I think that there'll be probably some folks that will get endorsements from certain community members and sitting council folks, and then maybe depending on how many people apply, there may be some new folks that don't end up getting any type of endorsement or anything. But I think it's once again just a really good opportunity to you know, really shape the future of the chain and our governance structure. And you know, another thing that I'll be doing, I just have to reformat just slightly, but I'll be posting an update, or I'm sorry, a proposal on the council salary and what that all entails as well. And I think you know, it gives some more room for somewhat of a built-in budget, if you will, so that the council has a little bit more flexibility with you know, how people are kind of employed, and you know, be able to more easily build out roles in the entire governance structure. So I'm excited about all those things, and yeah, we can probably post that. It's gonna happen at some point today, probably just right after this meeting. I didn't have enough time with a stack of meetings earlier to really get that out there just yet, but we're close. Any questions or comments or anything?
I'll get that taken care of though.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. Fantastic. Ludo, do you have something? I see you're not on mute.
Sorry. No, thanks.
Okay, great. Sweet. So we're getting close to the end. I don't know if anybody has, you know, anything else that they want to talk about. There were some action items from last week. One was, you know, Void Network Twitter account. I think we've made, you know, some decisions, at least in the near term interim basis, and you know, have kind of an open playing field for how to handle that moving forward. The Void on Deck Screener, there is, I think Kelby had posted something onto Deck Screener's Discord channel. If we could all go make some noise in Deck Screener, I'll post it as well. Maybe that could be something else that goes out from the Twitter account, to go in, make a comment, request for Void Network to be added to Deck Screener. If we have you know, enough mass of comments and activity in that, we'll get some attention there and get listed onto Deck Screener. That is a great place to potentially capture a lot more you know, folks that are really out looking for emerging opportunities in this space, and are looking for that diamond in the rough, which I think that's where we're at right now. Is we're this garage band, if you will, and I don't want to speak down upon, you know, our chain, because we're making some really loud progressive music, and you know, it's Nirvana before the record execs found Nirvana. That's kind of how I would describe us at the stage. But you know, I think
I get a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the Deck Screener, I saw the algorithm is there only because the TinyMand is integrated into the Deck Screener, so the assets that are listed on TinyMand are there. So the main challenge is to list there the decks, so that the ASAs are there present, right?
Yeah, and I think we want a full. So on Deck Screener, you have like a drop down on the left side, or it's right on the left side, that has entire networks, right? So you have all.
Yes, but if you click on the algorithm, you can see only the AMM pools from the TinyMand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So the question is like, anybody has any experience with integrating? I could integrate the Biotech decks there. But the question is like, if they will ask like some huge amount of money, I will not have this.
yeah, and I think I'm not sure exactly how much or if they will ask, or if it's fully open source over there. So I'll do some digging and I'll send you a DM on some of that stuff too. But I think from my understanding, in order to get listed on the side of the deck screener there, you have to have some size of engagement on their site or on their Discord, and make some noise there, and then they'll add the chain with a few different steps there too. So that's kind of what at least we're going
Yeah,
for.
but,
with
but
the website.
I assume that the primary requirement is that they must be integrated into the basically DEXIS there, right? So
Right,
the
yeah.
Algorand is there only because the Tinyman is integrated.
That's right, yeah. So there's for
So-
sure if you
So first we need to solve the integration, and then we can make like big hello, we are here.
hmm Yeah, and if you want to, do take some initiative on it, that would be helpful, I think, for biotech to, get listed on there. Yeah, I think it would be super helpful.
Yep, like I don't know what is the like how to integrate. So at the moment I'm basically at 0.0.
Got it. Yeah, no, totally. I'll dig in and get you some information because I think it's important for the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, and you should also send this information to Shelly probably.
That sounds good. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Fantastic. Well, we are just about out of time here. I don't know if anybody else wants to jump up and say anything else. We'll be posting out this application here and, making some other announcements pretty shortly after that. And wish all you guys a great rest of your day. Oh yeah, and then one last thing. I know that Haruf and I are joining the I Get Trades for it's a Twitter space in an hour? An hour from now? Hour?
Yeah, and I think it's 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Okay, perfect. So yeah, tune into that. We've got a small segment to talk a little bit about DorkFi and kind of some of the stuff we've been working on here. So yeah, check that out, and feel free to reach out to me or add anything to the agenda for next week. You've got my DMs there, and then also in the Voiager committee meeting. Feel free to check that stuff out as well. But if we don't have anything else, I'll let you all go.
Cool. Thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a nice day.
Fantastic. Thank you.